For this video, I specially disassemble an Erhu. Hello everyone, this is Joyce. This video is quite special as I will teach you how to assemble an Erhu from beginning. Many students have recently broken their Erhu strings or top braids at home, and neither they nor their parents know how to fix them, so I decided to make this video. If you have any broken string or top braid, you can directly skip to the relevant part of this video. I recommend liking and saving this video for easy reference in case of future breaks. Let's start assembling the Erhu. If your turning pegs have unfortunately fallen out, your strings are definitely broken. We need to put the pegs back in. It doesn't matter which peg goes on top or bottom. Remember, the smaller end should be on the right side and the larger end on the left. Put the pegs back in. And if your pegs often loosen, I suggest rubbing some chalk in the middle part, hidden inside the nick to increase friction. If both your string and top braid are broken, we need to first replace the string and then the top braid. When you get a new set of strings, identify the inner and outer strings. They differ in thickness. The thicker one is the inner string, and the thinner one is the outer string. It's easy to identify. When we got a new string, first uncoil it, and locate the end with a small loop. Attach it to the screw at the bottom of the Erhu. The outer string on the outer screw and the inner string on the inner one. After attaching it over the screw, pull it up with your fingers. If your top braid isn't broken, make sure to take the string through the top braid and keep it tight so it doesn't come loose from the screw. Next, put the other end of the string through the hole in the turning peg, leaving a little bit out. Press it down sideways, being careful not to prick your fingers as some strings are sharp at the end. Straighten and tighten the string. It's important to note that the outer string goes to the lower peg and the inner string to the upper peg. I'm currently replacing the outer string, so the outer string will eventually remain on the outer side of the turning peg. While turning it, use the string to press down on the part we just left outside, securing it. When turning, ensure the string doesn't get too messy on the turning peg. We can tighten and adjust them together by using our finger as we turn. When we finish, it will look like this, neat and nicely together. To show how to put the strings through the top braid, let's tie the top braid first. Okay, so it's finished. Now I will replace the second string in the same way. First, attach it onto the bottom screw. If your top braid isn't broken, thread the string through it. Make sure the inner string and the outer string don't get tangled. If you hear a lot of noise after changing string, it might be because they are crossed over each other. They should be separate. The process of the inner string is the same. Thread the string through the hole in the turning peg, then on the second pass, press down on the pointed end of the string with left sticking out. The inner string will ultimately stay on the inside of the turning peg, so we turn it outward. Now both strings are replaced. The inner string ends up inside and the outer string outside of the peg. Make sure they don't both come out of the same side of the peg. That would be incorrect. Next, I will teach you a way to tie the top braid without any knots. After getting a piece of top braid thread, form a small loop like this. Then I recommend to place this final loop on the side of the neck and secure it in place. You don't need too much excess thread. Press your thumb below and your index finger above the loop, like this. Then wrap it around the neck 3 to 4 times. Securing the loop tightly. Next, you can wrap around the string once, then around the neck once, and continue wrapping upwards like this.
When wrapping the top braid, there are two things we have to pay attention to. One is height and the other is width. Let's measure the height first. For height, measure the position of the first joint of your little finger, when your elbow is bent and close to the box of Erhu. So, if I play in this Erhu, the top bridge would need to be moved up a bit higher. This position determines the height of the top bridge. Of course, since everyone's hands are different, the height will vary from person to person. It's perfectly normal for some children to have top bridge positioned halfway up the neck. Next, we measure the width of the top bridge. To do this, we can lay our thumb across between the neck and the string, using the widest part of the thumb's joint as the measure of the top bridge's width. For me, it's this wide. Then we wrap around the string once, then around the neck, and continue wrapping upwards. It's important to maintain consistent tension in each wrap. If one is significantly tighter, the others being looser won't be effective. We can wrap around the string like 5 to 6 times with this thickness. Then continue with 3 to 4 wraps around the neck. Finally, we are using the small loop we prepared earlier. Thread the remaining end of the thread through this loop, passing it. Once through the loop, pull the other end of the thread tight to secure it. Now you can see the top bridge on the neck without any knots, just a small one left inside, which we won't touch when pressing the strings. I suggest if it's for children playing the Erhu at home, don't rush to trim the end of the thread after trying. Let the kids try it out to see if the width is appropriate. Let them play a bit, and then trim the ends. This is because if they're only one piece of the material, and it's cut off prematurely, and it turns out not to be suitable, we won't be able to tie it a second time. After trimming the ends, it will look like this. A very neat top bridge, as you can see. Next are our bridge and sponge, but some students might use a piece of velvet, which works just as well. We should place the sponge first. When installing it, you can use your finger to slightly pull the strings up, making it easier to insert the sponge. Then we place our bridge. When placing the bridge, pay attention to its 2 slots. One is slightly deeper and the other is shallower. The deeper side should face our inner string. After placing it, ensure both strings are seated at the slots. The bridge should be positioned right in the middle of the pattern skein. You can use your finger to measure the height and position to ensure it's not placed too high or too low, as either would affect the sound quality. Then we have done the bridge and the sponge. Next, we attach the bow. If an inner string breaks, the bow won't fall off. But if an outer string breaks, the bow will come off the string. When changing the bow, loosen the screw at the end towards you. For this older bow mode, the bow frog and the hair are connected. Some bows hair hooked on the frog, so you just need to detach the hair. Once opened, handle it carefully to avoid the hair getting twisted or flapped. If it does twist, shake the bow vertically to allow the hair to untwist. Then gently straighten it with your hand to align correctly. Thread the hair between the inner and outer strings. Then reattach the frog to the stick and tighten the screw. Remember, if you have a new instrument or a new bow, you must apply rosin. Without rosin, you won't be able to produce sound. Finally, turning the Erhu. Many students and parents have learned to turn by now, but some may still get confused about the direction. A simple rule is that tighter string tension results in a higher pitch and looser tension results in a lower pitch. For the outer string which comes out from the outer side of the turning peg, turn towards you to tighten. For the inner string, turn outward to tighten. To lower the pitch, loosen the pegs. Now, let's turn. You will notice that turning the peg can significantly raise or lower the pitch a lot. To achieve more precise turning, we can add fine tuner to the strings. For example, on my own instrument, I use thread fine tuners made of some material as the top bridge, tied to both inner and outer strings. You can also use fine tuner made of metal, which serve the same purpose. With thread fine tuners, moving them up increases the pitch, while moving them down decreases it. The effect of fine tuner on pitch adjustment is very subtle and allows for fine tuning. That's all for this video. I hope it's helpful for you guys changing strings and the top bridge at home. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Remember to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Bye!